Hey, hey, hey.
There he is.
Can you guys hear me all right? I got some beats on.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you?
Yeah, can see you fine.
Perfect,
I gotta
perfect.
get me one of those priority hats.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How
Yeah,
you
but
doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Just finished up a morning run session. And then
Okay,
we have some position work for Indianapolis coming up in 2 weeks, man. So
sure.
I'm fired up.
Are you done for the day or no?
I got one more lift, just a little quick upper body, at 3:30. So about an hour and a
Okay.
half.
All right, so we'll get you out of here real quick. This is
Cool.
Rob. He's gonna be taping the interview, right, Rob?
Okay.
Sir,
Cool.
how's it going?
It's going well. How about yourself, Rob? Nice to meet you.
Doing well. Nice to meet you as well.
Pleasure, pleasure.
All right. Now, what's gonna happen? Just so you know, family, what's gonna happen is the interview is not going to be presented video. It's going to be translated. It's going to be transcribed.
So just voice only.
Well, yeah, it's going to be written. It's going to be written out. It's going to be
Oh,
transcribed
so,
out.
all right, right. Okay, my bad. I got it. My bad.
All
I had to
right.
use my head real quick. Cool, cool, cool.
All right. You ready, Rob?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we'll start off right now. We'll be out of here in about 20-25 minutes, so you can get ready for your lift. Now,
Cool.
what I want to start off with is, you got a bit of an interesting background. Your parents are from Nigeria. Why don't you
Yeah,
give us an idea about your background, coming to the country, etc.?
yeah. So I'm a first gen child. My parents, like you said, are from Nigeria. They were born and raised there. They had my first two siblings out there. So my brother and sister were born there, and they all moved to the states, California specifically, as a family in 1996. I believe it was I think it was on Halloween. They said I think they moved here on Halloween Day, if I remember correctly. From there, my other sister was born, and then myself. So I'm the youngest of four. But I think my parents being from Nigeria, they instilled great culture in me, and that culture included discipline, hard work, humility, having integrity, and just being a well-rounded overall young man.
Like a lot of first generation immigrants. Have you gone back to Nigeria? Do you visit Nigeria at all?
Yeah, so I went there twice as a kid when I was 5 and 7. And then most recently, I went actually last summer with my dad at the age of 20. So that was my first time back as an adult. And man, it was amazing. I actually want to go back more often and help. I know NFL Africa is getting big, and I actually had a camp there last year. And I want to go back and help with camps and, one day be an ambassador, Lord willing, for the NFL.
Now, you said you moved to California. High school. Did you just play football, or were you a multi-sport athlete in high school?
Played football, played basketball, and I ran track as well.
What did you do in track and field?
The 100, the 200, 400, and 800. But I never actually ran the events. I always just practiced the team. Now, come junior year, I wanted to actually run now for time and things like that. But then COVID got in the way, so that was
Got
unfortunate. That was unfortunate. Yeah, yeah.
it. Especially in California. How'd you like the 400? That's that race is a bit of a bitch.
Crazy, yeah. For me, I mean, my mindset was always just like this is gonna help me really towards football. Uh, I always knew in the back of my head it was the end going to help end goal to help with football. But I mean, running was hard, but it's worth it.
Sure.
Yeah,
Now, what schools recruited you besides Cal?
Colorado, Arizona, Kansas State, Boston College, and a lot of Mountain West. Those are like the top schools.
So why did you choose Cal?
At the time, like I mentioned, COVID got in the way, and Cal, ironically, was the only school I had a chance to visit in person because I went to the junior day before COVID happened, and other schools that recruited me, like I had Zoom visits, which was very different and very weird. Despite having a good feel for the coaching staff, I never had a feel for what the environment actually was. So, considering Cal was an hour and a half away from home, great university, great school, just chose Cal.
It's kind of it's ironic that you mentioned COVID got in the way because I was visiting colleges with my daughter during 2021, and some of them would have guided tours. Other ones you were basically on your own. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
go ahead, Rob.
So, you played your first two seasons at Cal, but then you transferred to UCLA after your first 2 seasons. What made you decide to transfer to UCLA?
Yeah, man, I think considering that was going on at Cal, it was a great school, great program, great coaching staff. No hard feelings towards anybody, but I think concluding with the season that we had, I think the culture at the time that was being built wasn't necessarily the best. I just thought it was time for the opportunity.
Mhm. In what ways do you think you may have benefited from transferring?
I mean, just relationships, connections. But I think overall, just growing. I think transferring made me grow as a man. It made me learn how to adapt, how to be pliable, and how to roll with stones thrown at you. But then also, I mean, I moved to Edge my senior year, which I believe made me a lot of money well in the future. So I would say that too.
Mhm. You started 4 games in 2023 and appeared in 13. And then last season, you
Mhm.
started 12 games for UCLA. How'd you embrace taking on the starting role last season?
I was very grateful, blessed. Don't take it without acknowledging it. But it was incredible, man. I think it was incredible to play with a new coaching staff, new conference, um, and then just to roll out with the boys. I mean, the way the season didn't go how we wanted it to go, but I think if you look at our season, we were 1-5 at one point, and we made a decision to keep fighting, and won three straight, and ended up season 5-7. So we showed that we was a resilient group. But it was an incredible experience.
What was it like going from the Pac-12 to the Pac-12 to the Big Ten?
I think there's a lot of hype on the outside. It was honestly very fun to me. I don't, I mean, hot take, but I mean, I think football's football, man. It wasn't like we was playing guys out there. Everybody's human, I think if anything that was different, the environment, the atmosphere. But I mean, Big Ten football's fun though. It was incredible, great games, great competition. It gives you more exposure, obviously, coming from the Pac-12. So it was great. I think like I said, our season went 5-7. I think it showed, yes, Coach Foster and the staff, but just everybody at UCLA that, man, we can compete. I think that's what it showed us. So,
Oh, just go back. I mean, after the 2023 season, we move into 2024, and then Chip Kelly announces his resignation as head coach
yeah,
from the Bruins really late in the process.
yeah,
And then they bring on Deshaun Foster. When
yeah.
you heard that, what was your reaction? What were you thinking?
Um, for me, so when Coach Chip left, in my head, honestly, I had no thoughts about leaving and transferring again. I kind of had the mindset like, whoever comes in the building, I prove myself that I'm worthy of being on the team and making a stamp for my name. But with the transition to Coach Foster coming in, I think everybody liked it, everybody loved it. Everybody knew Coach Foster was very personable, great coach, very relatable. He played the game. He played at UCLA, Hall of Famer UCLA, played in the Super Bowl. So everybody was excited. I was excited. It was a good turning stone, though it was late. We were able to hop on the horse and get going.
You talked about UCLA going 5-7. You guys really struggled at the beginning of the season, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden, middle of October, you turned it on. What was the
Yeah.
catalyst for the change? You think?
I think everybody has to really look at themselves in the mirror and see, man, how are we going to go out this year? How is UCLA going to finish? Are we going to quit? Are we going to persevere? And I think we just all came together as a team, as a defense, as an offense, and really just kept pushing every day and not quitting. I think that was the biggest thing, just having the mindset of not quitting, and continue to strive every day to get better. And that's what we did.
This past season you converted from inside linebacker to an edge. Can you kind of just talk about the transition and just what surprised you or what was difficult with the transition?
Yeah, so going into the 2024 season, we knew as a defense our strength of the defense was in the linebacker room. We had guys like myself, Carson, Ale Cajo, Cam Madrano, John Vines, Donovan Pawai. I mean, there was so much talent there. Um, and considering after our second game of the season, we took a tough loss and we tried to figure out, okay, how to get the best 11 on the field. Coach thought maybe let's move me to edge this week, bump Carson up and see how things go, and kind of stuck with it and took off with it. And I think it was a great move. I think the biggest challenges, I think it was really a natural move, honestly. I think the biggest thing for me that I had to get a feel of was just rushing. Just actually learning how to really learn that it's a chess game with the tackles. You got to set them up and counter and things like that. So, also the biggest thing was just getting my rush moves going.
How
And the
much
run game came naturally.
how much more physical was it being on the line compared to being a linebacker? You know, being much closer to the lineman.
Yeah, I think the point of attack and point of contact is right now, but it wasn't that much of a difference because even at linebacker, for the most part, you were always making contact with somebody most times. But it wasn't too much different. And considering I played a little bit of edge in my Pop Warner years and a little bit of high school, it was still similar, very natural.
You know, you faced off against a lot of real good left tackles this year. Holland Pierce of Rutgers, Josh Connolly of Oregon, former Pac 12 team, Will Campbell of LSU. Those last two guys are projected as first round picks.
Right.
Campbell could be an early first round pick. Who was the toughest guy you faced this year?
Yeah, I've gotten that question a lot, and if I could be real, and I don't say this with any disrespect, but I mean, I don't really feel like it was anybody that was just like, oh my gosh, this dude, I can't beat this dude. And if I did have that feeling with my first game at Edge against LSU, and I was with Emory Jones. Now, funny enough, Emory was at the Senior Bowl, and I thought he was going to play on Saturday, so I was going to take that game out. It was going to be a little personal, but he didn't end up playing. But I would say Emory Jones just because it was my first game there, and like I said, the run game. If you actually watch the tape, like I handled my own in the run game. I think for myself, I just defeated myself a lot of times in the pass rush game by not really using my hands and getting up my chest. So, came a long way from that, so.
So you against LSU, you faced off, or you were lined up against Emory Jones more so than Will Campbell.
Yeah, I was on the left side most time.
Got it. Okay. Talk to you a little bit about the Senior Bowl. Now, the fact that obviously the highlight of your Senior Bowl week was going out to dinner with me, and next time we're going to keep the menu away from Kenny Zuckerman so he doesn't
Right.
order 3 years worth of appetizers. You
She
know.
ordered everything, huh?
Now let me ask you: you're going to your senior year and you're playing through the season. Was getting an invitation to the Senior Bowl a goal? Did you think about it? Was it something that you talked about at some point in time?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so I knew going into the year I was on the Senior Bowl watch list. And then I knew at the time I wasn't really in contact with Kenny Zuckerman yet, but I had other people talking to me, and with the switch to Edge, some people were like, they kind of told me you might get a Senior Bowl, but probably more likely to get East West, and the Senior Bowl might be out of the picture. But as the year kept going, I think I kept getting better, and I heard you might get one, and I wasn't too focused on it. I just wanted to get better week in, week out. And then it was presented to me that I would get one, and I was very grateful. And I look at it as an opportunity, to showcase my skills and my talents. And yeah,
Now, a lot of guys, your season ended a little bit early because UCLA did not get a bowl bid, but a
correct.
lot of guys were banged up after the season. Were you 100% going into the Senior Bowl?
I was pretty good. I felt pretty good. I felt fine. I felt, energized, rejuvenated. So yeah.
What was it like getting NFL coaching at the Senior Bowl, say, compared to what you had the coaching you had received in college? Was it that much different?
Uh, I wouldn't say it was that much different. I credit my college coaches, both at Cal and UCLA. They both their philosophies were very much pro-like. The schemes, what we ran actually UCLA was literally the same thing I ran in the Senior Bowl for the most part. Maybe a little different technique. But what's actually funny is my edge coach at the Senior Bowl, KJ Wright. His former coach in the NFL was Ken Norton Jr., who was my coach at UCLA for a year. So it was kind of funny just having a small reunion. But all that being said, it wasn't that much different, just different terminology, maybe slight coaching points that are different. But football's football.
Did they make you change any of your techniques? Because, a lot of times in college, the better athlete, the more talented guy wins, regardless of techniques. And all of a sudden, you get to
Yeah,
the Senior Bowl, you go through the process, they did they scream at you about getting your hands up quicker, or making
Yeah,
sure your knees are bent?
yeah,
What
definitely.
was it? Different techniques that they really forced upon you?
I think just alignment. I think your assignment. Yeah, they tweak things here and there, but also in the Senior Bowl as well. If you start showing you can make plays, they not really gonna coach you. So as the week went on, made some plays, and just started doing what I felt best.
One of the most important aspects of the Senior Bowl, probably the past 12 years, is the whole interview process. Because in the past, the interviews were cordial. Now they're a lot more formal, like the combine. What was the most interesting interview that you had at the Senior Bowl?
Uh, Probably Las Vegas. It was actually funny. So, uh, I interviewed with them back to back nights. Now the first, it was the same dude. I forget his name, but cool dude. And the first night, like, I could tell it was on purpose. He tried to make it very intense. Like out of everybody, compared to everybody else, like, this is like the most intense interview process. And to me, in my head, I'm like, it's funny, but I know it's serious. The interview of your lifetime. But it was just very intense. You could tell like he was trying to make me panic and freeze and fold. And then the next night, I interviewed with him again, and it was very chill, like totally opposite. So that's just how I knew the previous night. It was their scheme and mechanism of trying to interview people.
Speaking of the Senior Bowl interviews, is it true that you spoke with Mike Tomlin and just what was that conversation like?
Yeah, I saw some stuff on the internet about that. Yeah, I mean Mike Thomas is a great dude who's in the field during our practices, and I'm a pretty extroverted guy, communicate a lot. So just so it's up to him, asked me a few questions about football, and the first question I asked him was like, "Who's the greatest football player you've coached before?" And it just kind of led on to a kind of long conversation, and I see people notice that. But he's a great coach, great guy. I respect him a lot. I actually watched a podcast of James Harrison on the pivot and everything about how good of a coach he is as well. So yeah.
Mhm. Just how excited are you about the NFL draft being about 2 months away from now?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very grateful to even have an opportunity to hear my name called, but I'm just trying to stay level headed, stay focused. Right now, I got the combine in front of me, so just trying to run fast, jump high, broad jump, look good in indies, and just get paid. Yeah.
What are some other ways you've been preparing for the NFL draft the last few months, and how else are you going to continue to prepare for it?
Yeah, I mean, outside of training and extras at home, I just try to, read if I can, read some books, watch some extra film on my own, and listen to podcasts of NFL guys, learn about finances, real estate, things that can help me in the future. And then if I'm just chilling, just play a little bit of the game, NCAA, which this might be a hot take, but I believe Madden and the college football game, it's the same thing in real life. It applies. So it can help you mentally get the right mindset. Like you get to learn more football. Like actually, like, I'm dead serious. So, but yeah, so yeah, yeah.
It's good that you're reading about finance because it doesn't matter how much money you make. What matters is what you do with that money. That's why so many guys go broke so quickly after they leave the league. So it's good to hear that. Now let me ask you, where are you training right now for the combine?
I'm currently training at Exos in Dallas, Texas.
What is you go into training? You know you're going to run the 40. What is the most difficult thing about the training? Is there one specific drill or exercise that you're doing and you're saying, wow, this is a lot tougher than what I had thought it was going to be like?
I would just say probably the 40-yard stance.
Yeah.
Probably the most unnatural thing you've done, just because it's different. I mean, I'm starting to get the hang of it now, but at first I was like, "Oh, this is different," But I'm starting to get the hang of it and just learning how to snap out these stance and be explosive and things of that nature.
What's your goal for the 40 at the combine?
I think for someone like myself, 260 or 4'6", 4'7", I think that'd be pretty solid.
Go
What are
ahead,
your
Rob.
goals? What are your goals for your rookie season, and just how do you plan on becoming the best version of yourself from now until your first NFL game?
Yeah, I think for myself going into OTAs, mini rookie camp, and just having a mindset of growing, of learning. Eventually from there, learning from the vets, and then obviously balling at camp, making the 53-man roster, playing special teams to eventually getting my way in the rotation, eventually being a starter one day, and then making plays, man. Highlight sacks, fumbles, strip sacks, picks, everything, TFLs, being on the All Pro list, rookie list, whatever it might be.
Okay. And my last question is just, outside of football, who are you as a person, and what are some things football fans should know about you?
Yeah, man. I think for me, I'm really digging my faith and just following Christ and trying to stay level headed and grounded. Just being a great person, being a servant, having fun though. I think I'm a really energetic guy. Because if you make life more, it's got fun. I like to relax, chill. Like I said, I'm very grounded. I'm not really outside. Talk to my mom, talk to my dad, talk to my family, talk to friends, checking on people. Like I mentioned earlier, play the game a little bit. And then I think for me right now, I'm 21 years old. I'm just trying to keep learning about life. I plan to be a father one day, be a husband one day, and just be a great guy overall. So just trying to keep learning.
All right. All right. Good luck.
Thank
That's
you.
it, Femi. Thanks. Like I said, 20 minutes. We'll make sure I catch up with you in Indianapolis at the combine, brother.
Sounds great, man. Appreciate y'all. You have a great day.
Yeah,
You
you
good
too.
luck with the rest of the training.
Thank you.
Good luck in
All
the
right,
in the
bye-bye.
NFL.
Thank you, brother.
Yep.
All right.